What we're going to do is we're going to write an equivalent expression to 12a squared plus 24a. In order to do that, we need to look at the two terms and see what they have in common, both for factors, for the variables, and you have to also look at the coefficients. So if I look at 12 and 24, their greatest common factor is going to be 12. So I'm going to go ahead and write 12 on the outside. So 12 goes into 12a squared once, so that's 1a squared. So I'm going to write that as a squared. 12 goes into 24a 2 times, so that's going to be 2a. So I look at a squared and 2a, and they both have a in common. So I'm going to factor out an a. So a squared divided by a is a. So then if I look at 2a and divide it by a, I get just 2. So I'm going to take what's on the left-hand side, these divisors, and that is my greatest common factor. So 12 times a, or 12a, goes on the outside. That's what I've factored out. And I'm left with a plus 2. I can go ahead and check that this is correct by looking at 12a times a, which gives me 12a squared, plus 12a times 2, which is 24a. So it equals my original expression. You're going to solve 2 through 5 by yourself. Go ahead and hit pause, solve them. Whenever you're done, hit play, and I'll solve them, and you can check your work. So now that you've solved them, go ahead and check your work. So I'm going to draw my division ladder and put 15x minus 10. So whenever I look at 15 and 10, I can see that they have a common factor of 5. 5 goes into 15x 3x times. 5 goes into negative 10, negative 2. So my answer is going to be 5 times, with the parentheses, 3x minus 2. So if I look at 36x minus 9, and I'm looking at 36x and minus 9, and I see that my coefficients, 36 and my constant, negative 9, have a common factor of 9. So I'm going to pull out the 9. 9 goes into 36x 4x times. 9 goes into negative 9, negative 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 9 times the difference of 4x minus 1. Going ahead to number 4, I'm going to look, and I'm going to have to first combine my like terms of 35a minus 25a to get 5a, and I'm going to keep my constant plus 20 because it has no like terms to combine with. Looking at 5a plus 20, I see a common factor of 5. 5 goes into 5a 8 times. 5 goes into positive 20, positive 4 times. So I'm going to do 5 times the sum of a plus 4. Then looking at the last one, I'm going to go ahead and combine my constants. So I'm going to get 72x plus 15. So whenever I look at 72 and 15, I see a common factor of 3. 72x divided by 3 is 24x. Positive 15 divided by 3 is positive 5. So I'm going to have 3 on the outside, and inside my parentheses are going to be 24x plus 5. Let's go ahead and look at number 6 together. So in my bobsled, I'm going to write 32x cubed minus 11x squared. So whenever I look at this, I see 32 and 11 do not have any common factors, but x cubed and x squared do. They each have an x squared, so I'm going to pull out x squared. 32x cubed divided by x squared gives me 32x. I have one x left over because it's x times x times x divided by x times x, so that leaves you with 1x. Now, negative 11x squared divided by x squared is going to leave you with negative 11. So now that's simplified as far as it can. Outside of the parentheses is going to be x squared times the difference of 32x minus 11. Go ahead and try numbers 7 through 10 on your own. Go ahead and hit pause, come back, and we'll check them together. Looking at number 15, we have 15AB minus 20b. So now I can see that I have coefficients and variables in common. So if I look 15 and negative 20, their common factor is going to be 5. If I look at a, b, and b, I have a common variable of b. So 15ab divided by 5ab is going to be 3a. Negative 20b divided by 5b is negative 4. So then we're going to have, on the outside is going to be 5b of my parentheses, that I'm going to have 3a minus 4. And you can always check it by going 5b times 3a is 15ab, and 5b times negative 4 is negative 20b. So these are equivalent. You have equal expressions. So looking at the last one just right here, number 8, we have 18x squared minus 24x. So I'm going to look at my coefficients first, 18 and 24, and their greatest common factor is 6, and then I have x squared and an x. So I'm going to pull out 1x. So 18x squared divided by 6x is 3x. Negative 24x divided by 6x is a negative 4. So on the outside of my parentheses is 6x times the difference of 3x minus 4. Now taking a look at 9 and 10, we have 6x squared plus 3x. So in my division ladder, I'm going to write 6x squared plus 3x. Whenever I look at the 6 and the positive 3, I can see that they have a common factor of 3. X squared and x have a common factor of x. So 6x squared divided by 3x is going to give me 2x, because 6 divided by 3 is 2, and x squared divided by x is x. 3x divided by 3x is a positive 1. I'm going to factor out my greatest common factor, which is 3x, times the sum of 2x plus 1. Looking at number 10, 7y squared plus 221y. I'm going to look, and 7 and 221 do not have any common factors, but y squared and y do. We're going to factor out the y. So 7y squared divided by y is 7y. 221y divided by y is 221. So my answer is going to be y times, in parentheses, 7y plus 221. So go ahead and answer the closing question. Be sure to use math vocabulary and complete sentences.